What about the mother? The Prophet told us, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Inna Allah ta'ala yusikum bi ummahatikum, thumma yusikum bi ummahatikum, thumma yusikum bi ummahatikum, thumma yusikum bi abaikum, thumma al-aqrab fal-aqrab. Allah advises you, He tells you, take care of your mothers. And then He told you the second time, take care of your mothers. Then He told you the third time, take care of your mothers. And then He told you the fourth one, take care of your fathers. And then He said, take care of the people according to how they come. Take care of your sisters and your brothers and your aunties and your uncles and your cousins. But out of all of those people who need to be taken care of, the mother and the father. Birru walidain, birru walidain. So this is what we wanted to remind you, brothers, with and of today in our lives. The istiqamah of this ummah, the revival of al-Islam, this problem in the Muslim world, in Libya, and other than Libya, what's going on in the Muslim world. The Muslims don't respect their parents, so how do we expect that the deen of Allah is going to be established in the earth the way that He wants it established? We don't respect the people closest to us. That's why I find it utterly amazing, again. The people want to preoccupy the minds and the hearts of young people in this ummah with things that are important, like jihad. In Somalia, people calling for jihad. And other than in this country, establishment of the Khilafah. These issues are important. People are telling people these big issues, and here it is. People sit with you, and you sit with them, and the majority of us fall into uquq al-walidain. Except the ones that Allah Ta'ala had rahmah for, and He gave them the ismah. And the uquq al-walidain, as I mentioned, on different levels. There are those people who hate, curse, and swear, and steal from their parents. And then there are the individual who, he doesn't help the mother. He doesn't call the mother. He abandoned the mother. He abandoned his father. He doesn't want to hear anything from the father. All of that is uquq al-walidain. All of that. As it relates to what we can do in order to fall into bir al-walidain, there are many issues that we can do, many issues. Maybe we'll say that for the next time. If you brothers have any questions, especially the young brothers, concerning this issue, then you can put your question forward.
Sheikh, I have a question. It's not regarding the main topic.
Go ahead, man.
And it's the question is regarding ghiba and backbiting, and it's something that's prevalent within the Muslim community. And when you see some brothers doing the backbiting, you said to them, well, this is not allowed. They always come up with the argument, well, you're not saying something that's not true about the person. Can you shed some light on that?
Very quickly, concerning the issue of ghiba, the Prophet told us, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that the thing that people will get punished for more than anything else in the qabr is because of the tongue. The tongue is the reason why people will be punished more than anything else. Because on a daily basis, the individual is not using his tongue in the correct way. Uses the tongue to lie, to make ghiba, to make namima, to make shirk with Allah, Ya Rasulullah, Ya Muhammad, Ya Isa ibn Maryam, to talk about the deen without knowledge. The tongue is a big problem. To swear by other than Allah. Allah's Prophet told us, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that the people will be punished in the grave more than anything because of the tongue. Mu'adh ibn Jabal, he asked the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ya Rasulullah, hal nu'akhir bima natakallamu bihi al-sinatuna? Will we be punished because of what our tongues said? Will we be punished because of that? He said, Thaqulatka ummuka ya Mu'adh. May Allah lose you. May your parents lose you. Your mother lose you. You should have known something like that. How can you ask that question? Mu'adh ibn Jabal knows the halal and the haram better than anyone else from this ummah, from the companions. Mu'adh ibn Jabal, one of the 4 companions that the Nabi of Islam said, learn the Quran from these 4. Mu'adh ibn Jabal is the companion who participated in every single war. He didn't miss one war with the Nabi of Islam. Mu'adh ibn Jabal, Yawm al-Qiyamah, is going to be raised up, and he's going to have the flag The Prophet said, behind him will be all of the ulama from this ummah. And he's the imam of the ulama of this ummah. And he asked that question, will we be held accountable for what our tongues say? He said, may your mother lose you. He didn't mean that. It's to say, man, you didn't know that. He said, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, وَهَلْ يُكُبُّ النَّاسِ وَهَلْ يُكُبُّ النَّاسِ فِي نَارِ جَهَنَّمْ عَلَى وُجُوهِهِمْ إِلَّا مِنْ حَصَائِدْ أَلْسِنَتِهِمْ and Mu'ad are the people thrown in the hellfire on their faces except because of the harvest of their tongues. So the tongue is a big mushkil, has the ability to destroy a house. The father says, you're divorced, and the house is destroyed. The lives of the children destroyed from this lisan. Someone says to another person, your daughter's a zaniya, your mother's a zaniya, and that man stabs him or shoots him. So the tongue is serious. And from the musa'ib of the tongue is the ghiba. The Prophet gave us the definition of ghiba. He said that ghiba is mentioning your brother with something that he doesn't like. You say to the people, his breath stinks. He doesn't like you to say that. So the people said, but what if what we say is true? The Prophet said, they said, what if what we're saying is true? His breath does stink. The Prophet says, if what you said is true, then that's ghiba. And if what you said is not true, then that's buhtan. Buhtan is worse than ghiba, buhtan. Because you're making up a lie against someone. So the fact that we would say it, if he was here, we would still say it, that doesn't make it okay. What we're saying is true, that doesn't make it okay. If you mention something about someone in his absence, then that is ghiba, unless you have a religious reason to mention something bad in his absence. Someone comes to ask you, should I go into business with him? He's not there. You say, no, he's a thief. I went to business with him, he stole my money. Everyone knows that about him. That's not ghiba. Someone is doing something over there, and someone comes to you and says, yo, you know they have a cot house over there, and they're taking the people astray. Who's running the cot house? Muhammad Abdul. Okay, let's go talk to him. He mentioned about that man in his absence, but they're going to go to take away the munkar. Someone comes to you and they say to you, hey, I want to marry such and such family, their family, and I want to marry to that. So they say, don't marry into their family. Why not? Why should? Because you know they have a cleft tongue, the way that they're created. Something is wrong with the ear, something is wrong with the nose. You mentioned something in describing the person, but you didn't mean to bring them down. You didn't mean to bring them down. You just mentioned it so the person would know. And their eyes are something, their nose are deformed. So the worst person to make ghiba against are the parents. To mention something about your parent that you know that they don't like is ghiba. It's ghiba. My mother did this, my mother is that. And this is something that's common with young people. My mother's this, my mother's that. She gets me sick, she did this, she did that. My father is doing this, doing that. No, that's not the way you deal with the issue. Any more questions? Akhwani fillahi. إذن نكتفي بهذا القدر ونسأل الله سبحانه وتعالى يوفقنا وإياكم لما يحب ويرضى. And that we ask Allah Azza wa Jalla to give us the wherewithal, inshallah, to make tawbah for the uquq al-walidain and to give us the humility